I'm very fortunate to have the gaming collection that I currently have. 100%. Across all the consoles that I kind of casually collect for, I really do think I've accomplished quite a lot over the years. However, there are still some Gaming Grails that I don't have in my possession that I would really like to, even though some of them are really expensive. And those are what we're going to be talking about today. Hi there, my name's Alex, aka Quality, and welcome back to the channel. I still don't have a tripod, so we are standing once more. Athleticism. I thought it'd be kind of fun to go down the list of some of the games that I would really love to add to my collection. I don't know if I ever will add some of these guys to my collection, because some of them are uber expensive. But in a dream world, I would have all of these games, I'd play all of these games, and I would be happy. I also decided that it would be kind of fun to also check and see what pricecharting.com was saying about how expensive some of these games complete in box are, and it didn't do much to give me much hope, but I thought it'd still be kind of fun to have that in there as well, and also talk about why I want these games. I'm starting with a silly one that is actually pretty obtainable, but apparently everywhere I go, it's been avoiding me like the plague. I've almost gotten this game several times, however, it's been missing the box, or the game wasn't there for some reason. Just everything possible has prevented me from getting this game that I've wanted since my childhood, and that is Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar. This is one of the only DS Harvest Moon games I'm missing at this point in time, minus replacing my copy of Sunshine Islands, but I've never had Grand Bazaar. I have never owned this game. I asked for it when it came out, but it was kind of a weird Harvest Moon time because there were so many Harvest Moon games on the DS. I think I was much more excited about things coming out for the 3DS and getting hyped for that. And Grand Bazaar just kind of slid by. It just kind of didn't happen for me. I want all of the Harvest Moon games in my collection. That is a whole big goal because I love that series, but this one just, I'm never able to get it. I'm just never able to get it. So I'm really hoping that over the next few months, maybe at the Detroit Retro Gaming Show or any other gaming convention I might go to, somebody's gotta have it for a decent price. Somebody has to. So this is one of the cheaper games on this list. Price charting was telling me that on average, this goes complete in box for $49, which makes me even more mad because the one time that I almost had this game in my clutches, it was probably closer to $30, and I had the box. I was like, finally, now's the time, get up to the counter. They can't find the game. They can't find the game anywhere. So that was utterly depressing. But still, $49 isn't too bad, and at this point in time, if I found a good quality copy of it, yeah, 100%, I'm getting it. This game has evaded me long enough. Next is one that I think if you don't already have this game, it's on your DS wish list, Chrono Trigger DS. Now, of course, I could get the Japanese version, and that will probably be what I end up doing. For those who don't know, the Japanese version has English on the cart, so you can swap to English literally right away for a fraction of the price of the American version. However, you know, maybe I go crazy one day. I've almost done it a few times. My local game store has 3 copies of Chrono Trigger DS. I've almost pulled the trigger several times, but I haven't yet. I think maybe I'm really holding out for a hope that maybe someday someone will really sell it for a low price. Nobody's gonna do that. Everybody is way too smart to do that, but maybe we don't know. So price charting is telling me that on average, complete in box, $98. I have definitely seen Chrono Trigger for at least $20 more than that most of the time. Most of the time when I go to game stores or conventions, I usually see it for $120, if not more, which I don't know if I'm willing to pay that. I played Chrono Trigger DS back when I was in high school. I borrowed it from the boyfriend I had at the time, and it was a wonderful experience. I want to experience it again, but I'm really hoping to at least get sub 100 if I go with the US version. That is the hope, but I haven't seen it yet. Another pricey one, but one that I have definitely seen less in stores, Pokémon Conquest. This is a game that I have wanted for so long. So long. I asked for it for several Christmases, but you just couldn't find it from what I can remember. I never remember seeing it in stores other than maybe once, and of course, in my silly childhood mind, I was like, oh, let's get Imagine Fashion Designer instead. That'll be a great game. That was dumb. That was silly. And this game has also definitely gone up in price over the past few years, not as expensive as Chrono Trigger. Price charting is saying it's coming in at around $89, which sounds about right for what I've seen. This is one that I think if I'm really feeling lucky one day, I might pick it up. I really do want this game really, really badly. I've heard nothing but awesome things. I don't know, it's just one of the most unique Pokemon spin-offs, and I don't have it, so I really want to play it at some point in time. It sounds very much so up my alley. Next we have the most expensive game, or games, on this list. This is one that I wish I had more money when I was a teenager, because I would have gotten this right away with how much I love Fire Emblem Awakening, the special edition of Fire Emblem Fates. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest Fates fan. I played Conquest, I enjoyed it for what it was, but, you know, it's not my favorite Fire Emblem. It definitely is not. However, I definitely liked it enough that I would really love to have the special edition with all 3 of the games on the cart. That'd be really nice. However, the special edition, it kind of floats in prices because there were extra goodies in that box, I'm pretty sure. Depending on what you got, if you just want the case with the game or if you want the outer box, it's a pretty big price range. From what price charting was telling me, complete inbox versions or loose versions. I kind of, for this one, because there's different ways to kind of tell, because some could be missing something or other things, I don't know. Between $295 and $389. I don't think I'm going to be getting this one anytime soon, if ever. Now, I already felt pretty insane when I bought XD Gale of Darkness from a friend this past year. That is the most I have ever spent on a single video game, and that was in the 200s range. And it feels great to have that game now, don't get me wrong, but once we get into the 300 zone, that's where I get a little scared. That's where I'm like, this is like an investment at this point in time. This is like a chunk of my paycheck. What the heck am I doing? But I also really want it. I don't think I'm gonna be getting it anytime soon. Even if I see it sometime in the near future, this is a game that if I want it, I am going to specifically put aside money from it and save up for a while, and then try to look for a good copy of it, because it's just, this is not one I can buy on a whim. It's way too expensive for my blood, and I want it, but we'll see. We'll see if it ever happens. I've got a Wii game, which is pretty exciting. This is one that I really do enjoy this series. I actually don't have any games from this series at all, but I played them a little bit, and I really want this one because this is the one that everybody, even now, still loves. Rhythm Heaven Fever. I want a new Rhythm Heaven for the Switch so badly, and I don't know why we don't have one yet, because I feel like Switch Rhythm Heaven just makes sense. I feel like that would be a pretty good step to go, but I don't know. But Rhythm Heaven Fever is the one that I feel most people are talking about. Even now, you have people doing speedruns of it, you got Remix 10, you got all of those things. And it's also really expensive. All of the Rhythm Heaven games that I've looked at have been relatively expensive, but this one kinda, I think, takes the cake of the series. If there's a more expensive one, let me know, because I as of right now, I don't know of it. But the average for a complete in-box Rhythm Heaven Fever is $124. This is another one I've seen at my local game store, kind of floating around this price. Still, again, it's one of those games where unless I'm really feeling crazy, I don't know if I'm just gonna pick it up on a whim, you know? This is one that I think if I found for a good price at a gaming show or convention, I think I would maybe pick it up because it's exciting. You have the adrenaline of the day of being at an event, but it's not one that I think I'm just gonna go to my local store and pick up, unfortunately, unless it's for a really good price. But just because, you know, it's a fun game. It's a fun game, but I'm not really gonna play it every day of my life. Well, maybe I will, I don't know. But I just think it would be a really fun one to have. I really want to have my own copy of it because it's a cool little game, and Rhythm Heaven is very fun. So now this one makes sense, but I do find it funny that I bought its sequel before this one, Pokémon Coliseum. So I said this earlier, and if you've been around on the channel, you already know that I ended up getting this Gaming Grail a while ago, Pokémon XD Gale of Darkness. I bought it from a friend for $213, which was a pretty good price for the quality it was in, but I still don't have Pokémon Coliseum. It's slightly cheaper older brother. I don't have it. Weirdly enough, I've played more Pokémon Coliseum than I have XD Gale of Darkness. It's really odd. I just had more friends that had Coliseum growing up, so I experienced that game more, but I still never got it for myself. This is one that I think if I found really good quality, I would probably pick up. It's about $159, so says price charting, which checks out with what I've seen in the wild. The biggest problem, and I found this with XD Gale of Darkness too, is these games usually end up getting so scratched up. I don't know what people are doing with their copies of Pokemon, but every single copy of either of these games, the outside plastic has been so scratched up, and like not even just like normal GameCube wear and tear after 20 some years, but like deep scratches. I'm like, who is abusing these games? And then there's still hundreds of dollars. It's the most bewildering thing. And I know it's Pokemon. Pokemon gets expensive because there's such a demand for it, especially niche Pokemon titles like these. But I'm just like, why? Why are you guys abusing these so bad? So if I find a really good copy at a really good price, I will probably snag it, but I just need to find one that looks like I should be spending $150+ on it, which has been really difficult so far. Now we're kind of calming down with the prices a little bit. Still an expensive 3DS game, but not a super expensive DS game. I haven't decided what route to go yet, and that is Radiant Historia, or Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology, which is the 3DS version. Most of the people I know have the 3DS version. I don't know anything about this game, other than that I have been told I would really like it, so I don't know what route to go. Am I really going to be missing anything by getting the DS version as opposed to the 3DS version? I don't really know. I really don't know. However, there is a big substantial price difference. The original DS version comes in at about $31, whereas the 3DS version is about $91. That's a pretty substantial difference. If I found a DS copy for Radiant Historia for that much, just at a store, I would maybe pick it up. I also think Perfect Chronology went down in price semi-recently as well. I remember it being a lot more expensive, but I don't know. I feel like 90 is cheaper than what I've seen recently. But let me know, if you're a Radiant Historia fan, what route should I go? Should I go the cheaper route and get the DS title, or should I spend a little bit more and get the 3DS one? I don't know. I really don't know what the big differences are. And we're back to kind of painfully expensive Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. This is another GameCube game I do not have, but I have fond memories of watching my cousins play growing up. And I want it because I've never played this or Radiant Dawn. Radiant Dawn would be on this list too, but I was like, there's already been a lot of Fire Emblem on this list, so we'll chill it out with this. But I really want this game. And it's another one that I feel I see in such a wide array of prices. Price charting is telling me that it's about $196, which checks out for a lot of places, but I've definitely seen it for way more than that, and also a little bit less than that, coming in closer to the $150 range, which I feel like would be a steal at this point in time if the average is $196. But yeah, I've heard incredible things about this game, and I know there's gonna be people in the comments that you might have already commented, I know I could emulate it. I know I could. However, I would really love to have it natively because I'm just nostalgic like that. I want to bust out the GameCube and play it on my GameCube. I want that. That is the life I want. However, am I willing to spend $196 on it right now? No. No, I'm not. But maybe at some point in time. This is another one, if I find it in good condition for a decent price at an event where I'm already feeling the adrenaline of like, all right, let's buy some games, I might get it. I might get it, but we'll see. I've held out for a really long time on this one, hoping that maybe the price would go down, or maybe we'd get some kind of remake or dual pack between this and Radiant Dawn. I don't think that'll ever happen, but a girl can dream. Next is a lot of people's favorite Dragon Quest game that I have never played, Dragon Quest VIII, specifically talking about the 3DS version. I don't have a PlayStation 2 yet. I'll probably get one at some point in time just because I seem to be acquiring a lot of PlayStation 2 games for nostalgia's sake, but I have no way of playing them. So I might just need to buy a PS2 at some point in time. We'll see. We'll see. But also, the idea of playing it on my 3DS is a little bit more appealing to me because I can take it anywhere, which sounds pretty good for a pretty long RPG like Dragon Quest VIII. I also feel like this game might have gone down in price semi-recently. I didn't actually look at any of the charts for the price charting, just the common price for complete in box. So maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, I don't know. I just remember seeing it for way more than this at one point in time. But apparently it's coming in at $90, which isn't too bad. I think it's better than I was expecting. Maybe I was thinking Dragon Quest V is a lot more expensive. Maybe. That's another one I want, but I didn't put it on this list because I want VIII a little bit more just to add to the 3DS collection specifically, but I don't know. I don't know. But this is definitely one that's been on my list of games I wanted to play for a really long time. Again, if I find it in good condition, even if it's around $90, I might still pull the trigger on that one because it has been an RPG that I really wanted to play for a while. But on the other side of that, I have a lot of Dragon Quest spin-offs I need to play first, so it might not happen for a while. The last game that I put on this list is a game that I actually feel probably, aside from maybe Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar, because that's a special case, the most inclined of this list to buy, and that is Xenogears. So Xenogears, I love Xenoblade Chronicles, right? I feel like I need to play Xenogears. I feel like it will be one of those experiences that I will remember. I know it's a big game for a lot of people, and I don't see any way I'm not going to enjoy it by any stretch of the imagination. And since I recently acquired a PlayStation 1, why not get it for it and play it on that? However, it is $150 just about, but I've definitely seen it for way more than that. Plus, with PlayStation 1 games, you have to think, how cracked can I allow this jewel case to be before it devalues the game inside? But I don't think Xenogears really has that problem. I have always seen it be pretty expensive whenever I've seen a copy of it, no matter how the outside of it looks. I'm making my plans for my big PlayStation 1 hunt over the next few months. You'll see that documented on the channel in a way, but I'm not going to reveal too much because I think it'll be fun. This is a game that I think if I saw it, I would maybe snatch it up right away, even if it's at that $150 or even a little bit more price point. It's one of my most desired games for the PlayStation 1, and it's one I didn't have growing up, which kind of values it a little bit more for me. I can pick up any of the shovelware games that I had growing up any day of the week, but this is one that if I saw it, especially again, retro gaming show, any other convention, I would maybe snag it. I really, really would. We'll see. I'm not gonna spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for it, but if it's around this price range, I might just do it. I might just do it. Have that be one of the standouts in my redeveloping PlayStation 1 collection. But there are 10 games that I really want at some point in time. And I probably won't get a lot of them until way later down the line, when maybe someday I get super rich, because a lot of them are very expensive, and I don't have a lot of money. But there is a list of 10 games that I really want for my collection at some point in time. Many of them are certainly not the most obtainable games financially right now. I don't like to spend a ton of money, which is weird, given that I collect video games a lot of the time. But unless I have a true desire to play it, I don't usually willy-nilly go out and spend a bunch of money just for the sake of collecting it. So when I hopefully inevitably get some of these games, it'll be because I'm ready to make the investment monetarily and time-wise in that game. But we'll also see, because again, there are definitely certain circumstances where if I see any of these games for a stellar good price, I will just buy them, because sometimes I don't have any self-control. But that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you see here, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Tell me what games you are dreaming of. What are your gaming collection grails? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. But that's gonna do it for me today. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye! Boop.